What about the Enchantress here? I mean, is that something you try to leave up on the table for a trade?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that Liquid shouldn't play jungling heroes, but I mentioned Enchantress might be one of the exceptions because of how versatile the hero can be. So if they were looking for a trade Invoker and you trade it for Bounty Hunter plus Enchantress, maybe it's a good possibility.
I don't know. They dealt with Fnatic's Enchantress in all 3 games, so they've shown to be pretty well prepared to deal with it.
But it's still a really good hero.
It was pretty good.
Well, you can tell
Almost
that
the only hero that actually stood out for Fnatic despite losing.
So there you go. I mean, at that point it becomes a question, especially for Liquid. I mean, they're fighting for their life right now. Do you play to your comforts? Do you play to certain counters? But it's going to be the Invoker ban for now, which means the Bounty Hunter gets through and Wings right on top of it.
Well, we should be seeing a Bat Rider pickup now from Liquid. I think that is the response they need to do.
Really? I think they can go back to...
With the bans that currently exist, there's a Beastmaster, there's a Nature's Prophet ban. I think Bat Rider heavily outshines Tidehunter. And Bat with Bounty Hunter, I think, is a very strong, potent combo.
Doom and OD coming right back to the first phase. Doom, of course, I mean, has been top priority throughout the weekend. OD to a certain extent, but what do you guys think about this one?
It's one of the few openings that Secret used a lot previously. The Doom very versatile again. You can be off lane, you can be a support. You can follow the Bounty Hunter around with the Infernal Blade. You can actually easily drive him out of the mid lane. So, and OD obviously a very versatile pick as well. You can go mid, can go safe lane. Very good in the laning phase. Doesn't really, reveal too much of your overall strategy. So.
I actually think Wing should go for a Bat Rider now. I think it's pretty good versus both of those heroes. And you're always looking for kills with Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, Bat Rider is very good versus the Doom and OD. But then again, the Astro can be used against the Lasso.
Even sticking napalm is like just terrible for OD to deal with.
Wings did confidently take that combo in the first game here, so there we go. The Bounty and the Bat Rider coming back for Wings. That helped in serving for the victory in game number 1 in the finals here in Manila.
I think, banning Oracle is the safe bet. They tend to favor that way more over the Vengeful Spirit when dealing with Bat Rider. And as we saw, they can actually play the Bat Rider versus the Vengeful Spirit very, very well. So Oracle's the one that I think they need to get rid of.
Lone Druid was picked up by Liquid the past 2 games. How do you read into this ban here? I mean, do you think Wings would have prioritized it had it gone through?
I think it's because Liquid has a plan and they know it doesn't involve the Lone Druid, so they may as well remove it.
Take out the risk just in case.
Yeah, they don't want to spend additional effort into dealing with it. They know it's a hero that you need to counterpick in some way or shape. So rather just remove it and deal with what you're presently.
It's also really hard for Doom. Yeah, it's really hard for Doom to gank it. I think like Doom's really good at taking advantage of certain offlaners. But
it's the tempo as well. Like Doom and OD, you can't really defend against push that well. You don't have very good D push with the creeps. So if the enemy has a very good push lineup, OD and Doom might struggle against those type of strategies.
So much more suspenseful now that it's down to possibly one last game. Here, Wings up 2-0 in a best of 5.
You ever think we're gonna see Omni? I've seen Omni OD a lot in pubs. It's like almost never seen in competitive though.
It's because you play on NA.
Yeah, I still think it's a pretty decent combo though, especially versus like Bat Rider.
It's too slow.
Too slow?
Yeah, it's very greedy though. Like do you play him as a support or off lane?
Off lane, I see more often.
Okay. Perhaps not as likely, but at this point something needs to happen for TL. Lots of time spent here for Wings actually trying to figure out what their 4th ban's gonna be.
You think it's the Vengeful they're debating, or the Enchantress perhaps?
Enchantress plus Doom look really, really scary in the early game. Wow, they banned Ursa? And they're on the dire side.
Maybe they're warming up to an Enchantress pick up their own?
Yeah, possible. But if they do Enchantress, it means the bat will be mid.
I mean, Liquid has been known to run some Ursa, played very successfully, so...
So maybe they're just banning out a hero that Liquid are very comfortable with.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, right, very different attitudes. Wings trying to secure the entire match.
So how do Wings end up getting Dire and first pick?
Liquid choosing Radiant.
Why would they choose Radiant though?
They have something up their sleeves.
Liquid choosing second pick.
I mean, both perhaps the only answer is something up their sleeve for Liquid. Yeah, it is a great question. If we get confirmation, we'll update that right away and exactly how that process happened. But the next two pretty quick. Which stars are going to be picked up for Team Liquid?
I mean, again, a very staple pick, like very standard. Good in the lane, good team fight. It doesn't really still show what Liquid wants to do yet. Like everything is still very blur. You can go anywhere.
And it isn't bad against anything.
I would say it's not that great versus Batrider. I think like
You mean in the lane?
no, in team fights.
Oh, in team
I think it's like Batrider's like, okay, I can lasso OD every single time. I think OD is like the vulnerable point in their lineup now because they picked the Batrider up very early, and it's clear that they want to use that tool to deal with the OD.
So you rather have a Venge?
I'd rather have someone who has more instant defensive capabilities, Benj included.
Alright, well, still two more options for TL. Meanwhile, Wings. Tusk. Alright, we've seen Tusk banned a couple times here and there showing up in the drafts, but not prioritized by any team.
Wait, is this?
If you saw the reaction of the two Finnish players on Liquid, they weren't. It didn't look as if they were exactly happy.
So it's going to be Darkseer Doom. So it's very clear that Liquid want to play around their lanes. They have very strong lanes. Doom, Darkseer, OD as well. All their lanes are extremely strong. Instead of going just for the team fight, like in the last two games, this game they're heavily prioritizing winning their lanes.
Is it going to be Darkseer Lifestealer? Are they going to get cheese?
Oh, I mean, hey, we've seen it happen.
Liquid has played that to a certain extent. Weren't they the first ones to do it?
But they did it on a support position. Position 4.
Right.
Kuro was the one who played it.
And,
One position, Matumba Man Doom.
I mean, yeah, the options are open, and we've definitely seen Lifestealer come up earlier.
I mean, as Choba was saying,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
there we go. Now we're talking.
All
All
right,
right, clear 3-0 for Wings. It's a wash.
And just look at the slows they have. They have the Napalm, they have the wards, the Frozen Sigil, and they have the movement speed from track. They're going to be extremely mobile, and they have a lot of vision as well. Like, vision is always really good for the Batrider. All these three heroes provide vision for him.
5 seconds remaining.
Does that throw a wrench into Team Liquid's plans, or do you think, I mean, regardless, Team Liquid's going for their own picks right now?
Witch Doctor Darkseer generally does pretty well against Venomancer. Darkseer in part because of itemization, Witch Doctor because of the heal. So it's not necessarily a great pick here. It's more of a... I mean, I'm loving it for the meme of it.
Well, you mentioned earlier Team Liquid perhaps not being too happy about the Tusk pick, but really it's been also Wings who spent a lot of time trying to figure out how they're going to round out their roster after the first two quick picks from Bounty Hunter and Batrider.
It's such an aggressive lineup Wings have. I couldn't think of a more aggressive lineup even if I tried. Maybe like a Clockwork or something. Touch.
So you think that they're going to like do aggro lanes? And they leave the Venom on the safe lane against the Doom and the Darkseer alone. And they try to pressure the other lanes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Veno is safe lane, right?
Yeah, that's what they do usually.
I mean, yeah.
No. I mean, it'd be odd to put it on the middle lane is what I'm saying.
They run Batrider a lot in the safe lane though.
Okay.
So you think Venom might be mid and Batrider safe lane?
Oh, I think Batrider or Venom might be off lane +1.
So they can still Clockwork.
There's always a chance.
Is there a chance that they run one position Doom on Liquid? If you have OD as
I
your
haven't seen that in a while though. I don't know, but it's definitely possible.
To pick.
Generally, Wings have been picking a fair amount of late game in their strategies, so it's probably the offlane Batrider.
Ember is going to be the last ban coming out from Wings. I mean, we've mentioned on the panel Ember possibly being a nice pickup for certain rosters previously in the weekend, but it didn't seem like any team was really on top of it. But Spectre does sneak all the way to the very end of the draft, and Liquid picks it up.
That's actually probably what they wanted.
And then the Alchemist also makes it all the way through, and Wings picks it up. No comment from my fellow panelists.
They have Alchemist, Grievel's Greed, and they have Track, so they're gonna be very rich.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I needed something from you guys after that draft, and you gave me something. Well, Wings now going for the last win that they need to lift up that trophy, rounding the roster out with Alchemist. Meanwhile, Team Liquid is able to pick up the Spectre. Panelists, you guys seem to say that Liquid, I mean, should be pretty happy with the draft, at least on their side of things.
Oh, I prefer Wings this year.
There is no counter to carry Venomancer.
As Winter was saying, there's gonna be a lot of gold income here. They have come for the Skrilla in Manila.
Alright, Wings in it for the Skrilla in Manila. Game number 3. This could be the last game here in the Mall of Asia Arena. So all you fans here in Manila, if you want this night to continue a little bit longer, send your energy onto the stage. Team Liquid needs it right now as they're down 2-0 as we go into game number 3 in the grand finals.
We will see if energy is enough. Team Liquid, 2 games down after not dropping a single game in the competition. They've hit this hurdle before in Shanghai when they were 3-1 out by Secret. Can they get that one up on the board? We're gonna find out now.
I mean, this game is going to be just a battle because Liquid, they've adjusted their draft. They made things a lot easier for themselves, especially with picking the Doom rather than the Enigma, which is a much more passive offlaner. But I mean, I think my favorite part about this game so far was when Alchemist was picked and the crowd just reacts and goes crazy. I don't know any other crowd that just goes insane because of that.
Wings, the contesting for the bottom rune. Innocence in the middle of it. He's burning to the iron shells. Oh,
What's going on?
The snowball trying to protect, but it was too late. They've still got the double iron shells up. Mind control dropping down low. The Gal will connect. Mind control will not survive this one. No denial, and now it's going to be Father who's on the run. Tries to Happy Tree Tango himself up to life again. The Wings still on the pursuit. Snowball in 4 seconds, but Father will reach that mid tower, and the Darkseer is already TPing forward. And this Alchemist, well, he went Acid Spray level 1, and he's still going to be battling against Mind Control, who's in the mid. The body block is there. Paralyzing cast bouncing again. Snowball protections up. They're going actually over to Koro, giving Alchemist just enough space to get back up close towards the tier 1 tower. Another Gal down from Shadow. He's out of mana, but Koro may be out of life. He's ticking down. He's gone. They're still going to keep the push going. Q-Rex is ready. They can't make it to the trees in time. Now it's Sparta. We're basically playing 5v5 Dota in the mid. Actually 4v4, considering Faith as well as Matoman are just like, you know what? Screw this. I'm out.
Oh yeah, Wings are sitting there going, oh, you want a 5-man rune, huh? You want to try and take the bounty rune away from an Alchemist? That's fine. We'll 4-man your middle lane. But in the end, Liquid do get both bounty runes. I'm not even sure how that bounty rune was still up 30 seconds later, but that's what happens when you have a 10 or 5 versus 5 fight in that bottom lane. Liquid also got first blood. They also got a lot more times in their side lanes, picking up experience while Wings were still rotating to their side lanes because they were mid. So yes, the score starts out 3-1, and it does look okay in the metrics, but Liquid, I think they're okay with that kind of a weird engagement.
Yeah, I think I once asked Nahaz what the stat was when you give up both bounty runes and you get the first blood, and he said they were about the same.
Faith in trouble. We'll come back to Nahar's memories in a moment as Faith, Paralyzing Cast will connect. He'll have to Fairy Fire Matoman. Sticky Napalm sending it a little bit too high on him, so he wants to back up. There's 3 stacks. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Innocence in real trouble. There's that hit coming in from Kuro. Infernal Blade. The Frog breaks balance.
And this is what we were talking about. Blitz mentioned that the Doom, less of a greedy pickup, is able to have more of an impact in lanes. And you were seeing it right here. He's going to try and contest for the rune. It's a bounty too, but no.
Alchemist got it. He's going to lose his life for it. Ice comes in, shards him up, and Koro's going to go down. 6 kills in 2 minutes. The blood keeps going.
I mean, go from trying to deny him the bounty rune to still giving it to him and giving him the kill as well. That was not what the Doom planned.
Yeah, he thought he was going to be able to get that without any sort of contest, but the Tusk already making his way down. The OD couldn't really help in the current situation, just how low he was, and Doom's going to make his way back mid. And this is a lane that they have to start to abuse, but the Alchemist already off to a roaring start, 3-0. Not a whole lot of responses by Liquid. Is how do you even dive a hero like that?
Just going to continue to build up with the Bounty Hunter always being able to pressure this middle lane. This means the Darkseer is not actually getting some of the strength from the Doom. Sometimes you'll see Dooms rotate up. Oh, Matumba, man, is he dead? He's dead!
Yep. No way to survive this one, maybe not. Faith, the damage from the tower is too much. The last attack will do the work. Durax will find the revenge kill, which will push him forward, but then in towards the middle lane. The OD imprisonment sets up. The Sentry Wall was down for the Dire side, but it's Innocence who's the one who's dropping. Kuro zoning out the Alchemist. They want to go for more, but Father is bone dry on mana. So they can't find anything else out of that one, so Wings lose 2 very, very quickly.
It was really important for the OD to be able to have a good game, and starting off with both counter wards as well as Dust available. The Dust particular that Kuro brought in, huge play there to be able to stop the Bounty Hunter from putting pressure. But look at this, Wings just keep going.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is they're still able to get kills on the bounty hunter, and they're not letting Ice get anything impactful, and they're gonna go for it again. As
Snowball, straight forward. He was sitting on the edge of the smoke. What he couldn't do before, he'll do now. Imprisonment making him wait. Where's that paralyzing cast? It's level 2. He can throw it out. Now it comes so far. It's got time. It is inside of the tower. G-Rex is surviving the Roman Resurrection. Gets him life. They're all trying to fight as well. Tuska's down. Wings lose 3 into the tier 1 tower. The sacrifice is worth it, and it is made by G-Rex.
That was beautiful. The setup there, Fada, of course, imprisoning himself, buying himself time. But you notice how Jarek, he was sitting there for a while. He held off into the cask until right as the OD came back from the imprisonment so he could get the lock on the Alchemist for as long as possible. And that allowed the OD to just go to right-click town. And stopping the Alchemist from getting that right-click on Fada also allowed the Voodoo Restoration enough time to keep Fada alive.
and 2 games in a row. And this Bat Rider, in the first game we saw him able to get the solo kill on both the Beastmaster and the Vengeful Spirit. This time around, being able to slow down the timing of the Spectre. Liquid hoping to get that Spectre a quick level 6. So you don't really even care about this hero's laning phase as long as he doesn't die, but even then, wasn't able to do that. Doesn't even have the boots available to him. The Bat Rider being able to do what he wants, especially since the Witch Doctor had to TP mid to help things out. So it's going to alleviate some pressure from Vada, but at the same time, they're going to need to do something about this Bat Rider.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Wings, right, you're not looking at that engagement in the mid lane in a very optimistic light. Okay, that was pretty bad. We lost 3 heroes, but at the same time, strategically, it's the right play. They're putting a lot of pressure on mid. They're shutting down the OD, and they're also forcing Liquid to rotate supports out of the bottom lane, leaving Spectre alone against a Bat Rider, furthering that stop on farm.
This is actually so good from Team Liquid. They don't have an hour stun, but Ice loses a lot of quick life. They know there's other heroes around. The Observer Ward on bottom lane, which is just around the small entrance into the Radiant jungle. They see practically everything. Innocence, no courier for you. Chicken's not on the menu, thank.
Look at the other side of the table, right? While bottom lane is always pressured, top lane is a Darkseer versus a Venomancer. Shadow, he's fine with this. He's 2,400 net worth. He's 3rd right now on the board. Even if the Darkseer is getting something, and it's not even looks to be that much, it matters more that that Venomancer farm is completely uncontested. So right now, Wings are winning themselves 2 different lanes, probably 3, if they can actually get another successful gank on the OD at mid.
This Bounty Hunter is going to go contest to this top rune, but Fada, he's got a haste rune and not going to be able to do too much to him as Alchemist just focuses on trying to farm out the jungle stacks, and I think this is the right idea.
He knows exactly what Kuro is trying to do. Waited so now he can lasso him back. Paralyzing cast, gonna bounce over to Ice. He came back in closer. The snowball forward, try and create space from the sun that hit in face. On 70 life, he'll survive, and Kuro will die to the tier 1 tower. A lot of that was set up, and actually G-Rex, he cancels this TP. In comes Sparta on the back of that haste rune. He's got the ulti up and running. He wants to pop the Venomancer. Does he let it go? He definitely does. The Venomancer gets crushed with a little bit of spill damage out to the Tusker.
The haste rune right at the perfect opportunity for Fada to be able to fully capitalize on that bottom lane and turn that into a kill on Shadow, who we were talking about was getting all that free farm in the top lane. And things will switch up now for Liquid.
Yeah, they're at least going to create some space at this bottom lane and make them a little bit more hesitant. That rotation by Fada really paying dividends. It's going to alleviate some pressure. They're able to kill the Venomancer, which is going to enable this Darkseer to just farm out. Crow's going to rotate up here, and he's almost got his level 6 at the same time, and Liquid is going to hit some pretty good timings with all of their abilities as well. Spectre's got his ultimate, and that's all Spectre really needs. He just needs one of those high priority kills to get right back into the game, and he might even set up for one here as the Alchemist doesn't have the ultimate.
Infernal Blade's going to hurt pretty hard. Spectre, there he is, and the Gale Shadow doesn't hit anybody with it. The shards will fly forward, trying to create more space. It will allow Shadow to get back to his tier 3 tower, and the question is, does Liquid get out of this one? With Ice jumping forward, Shadow still wants to fight for Kuro. He's such a beast. Infernal Blade back on cooldown. Shadow is ticking down, but he knows he can kite out Kuro. Having the advantage of the poison, having Ice with him, means it will be a 1-for-1 trade-off, but it's the Alchemist going down for the Doom.
Yeah, it's better that Kuro makes sure that the Venomancer can't continue to chase them down unless it allows Mataba Man to be able to get some space away.
Rune, Fada coming over. It's going to be stolen by Innocence. There was no follow-up there.
I think Innocence was debating just going for the hit, but especially with Fada here, all it takes is one hit of the Arcane Orb and suddenly he can't Shadow Walk. And that's a dead hero, but the Bat Rider still continues to get more or less uncontested free farm, now making his presence known in the jungle. 42 CS.
Almost catching Jarix there, but just barely shy of the lasso.
Actually having more help rotating over. Fada coming down as Faith continues. It's almost like G-Rex is trying to keep Faith enticed to stick around and battle this one. Faith can't TP out, not while that paralyzing cask is there. And Kuro also rotating over. Now the cask being thrown, Infernal Blade as well. Faith, he knows he can't get out of this one. One more orb attack will do the job. Support was thrown out by Ice, but he's got enough distance on Matumberman that he'll reach that tier 1 tower safely.
Yeah, without Firefly and being able to have Jarex there ready to go with the stun, there was no escape.
Imprisonment. Fada's going to try and turn it up again. The Darkseid's a little bit too far away to really help out, but how much damage have you got? It's 21 stolen intelligence only, and Innocence tries to zone him out with a Shuriken toss, when the answer spray's a little bit too dangerous to fight under.
Does have the ultimate available, but still the Alchemist not going to get hard committed on, and the Darkseer leaving the stop lane. He's going to lose the tower. Shadow just continues to push in and still doesn't have too much farm, and he's not getting out of control or anything like that, but at some point they're going to have to worry about the farm of every hero.
Paralyzing Cask going to go again. Spectral Horns off cooldown, and so is the Doom. They just chase the Alchemist down. They drop the ulti. They do not want anyone from Wings standing between them and their prize of war, aka the Alchemist's head.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to blow that OD ultimate if the Paralyzing Cask had just managed to stay on the Alchemist. That was an important kill. They couldn't afford to let it go, especially after they'd already thrown down the Doom. There was still the potential for Wings to be able to TP in and provide some sort of save. This game is really scrappy, and it's good for Liquid that the Bounty Hunter still is not level 6, because if we continue to have these really scrappy engagements where we're trading heroes back and forth, obviously the track gold will put that in Wings' favor, but right now it's fine for Liquid.
That bounty does not do enough damage. That's a level 3.5 bounty at this point, and now, well, Kuro's on the charge after him. Once Infernal Blade hit, there she blows. Innocence ticking down. Wow, that damage is unbelievable. The bounty is going to drop. Vada is also moving over. It came underneath the sentry ward. So Wings are very much aware that this OD is here, so they bring in Faith. They look for a kill. Fada wasn't ready for that one. Dragon back, snowball stun, Fada, defensive imprisonment. But the rest of Liquid are about out of here. They accept the casualty, and the casualty is the OD.
Just on the edge of the counter ward is where they managed to get that lasso, but Boast is still good enough for Wings as they get another important kill on this OD, continuing to keep him down. It was really good for the first 2 or 3 minutes that they did that, but because of all the kills that OD's been a part of, he's now second in net worth, challenging the Alchemist, which is the last thing you want to hear.
I think my biggest issue with this game so far is just the Bounty Hunter being level 3 right now, and Wings, they desperately need this guy to get some levels because they're getting some decent trades here, but Liquid are getting the trades on the priority targets more than anything. They've been able to find some kills on the Alchemist, the Venomancer, the Bat Rider's died twice himself, and it all comes down to the fact that the Bounty Hunter's largely been zoned out by Kuro.
In mid lane, Ice is going to be dove in here by Fada as he tries to go for that one easy kill for Kuro and Fada as they find that, but of course, that's only because the Alchemist is not in lane at all.
Yeah, he's just busy farming up the Ancients at the moment. With a 3 now, 4 points up in the greed. He's just taking out the quad stack of Ancients. Wings, they may not want to defend this mid too hard. They've already burnt the fortification, but what else is left? Nope, they're coming in. Veno's going to rotate. The Flame Break and the Ski Napalm. Stacked up a bit, but Liquid will bail out. They already got what they came for. Like, the Alchemist is getting a cramp ton of farm. Armlet done, and he's already up to 1900 gold. 5.6k in the net worth.
Great, but the Alchemist will always get farm. I want to re-emphasize what Blitz was talking about. It's the Bounty Hunter that's really going to be the biggest issue. If he doesn't get his level 6 soon, the problem's going to be that Liquid will, as time goes on, it's no longer going to be 1-for-1 engagement. It's going to start becoming 2-for-1 in Liquid's favor, 3-for-1 in Liquid's
Innocence,
favor.
he's going to break the smoke. Jirax knows it, throws down the sentry wall. Spectral Haunt will go, paralyzing cast. They need some dust, need some reveal, but they just do not have it. The sentry is too far away. You can follow the oil slick, but if you can't see it, you can't hit it.
At the top lane, they're also trying to chase down the Tusk at the tier 1 tower. Looks like they should be able to get him too.
Delay a little bit though, the snowball. He actually goes over to the creep, but there's your Walrus Punch. Flipping Matumman, that tower is doing a lot of damage. He's going to switch the attack off, which is able to do so now. And with the Iron Shells, or can they finish this tower? No one else is around it from Wings, so it looks like they should be able to get it.
I don't know, if Wings, I think you still put somewhat of a premium on defending some of those towers. It seems unnecessary to give it up when you know the OD is mid.
I don't think most teams care about this safe lane tower, especially on the dire side. It doesn't open up too much of the jungle as much as, for example, the mid tower does, which we saw Liquid put a premium on in their other series, but
Oh, bounce up, Faith,
Still free
paralyzing cask. There's no real follow-up, however. There's no malediction. I thought Kuro was a little bit closer. Now it's actually Wings, who only barely missed the shards from Ice.
and they've got to be careful. This is a Darkseer that's already completed the mech. He doesn't have a TP scroll available, so he's telling his team, wait for a second. Might not even have that moment though as Faith.
Yeah, they go straight underneath the tower. Stun or not, Faith's still going to find that kill. And Kuro couldn't help him. He was too busy running away from Shadow.
Liquid are also going to be giving up their tier 1 towers, it seems, as the OD is just using this time for more farm. The Spectre.
Innocence.
Oh.
They saw him go invisible, and with the Iron Shell and Infernal Blade, the Doom, all he's got to do is stand next to that Bounty Hunter and he burns.
I mean, time and time again, that's been the combination for them, is that Kuro just hits him with the Infernal Blade.
Do they have enough?
2 carries.
They are gonna, well, okay, the support's too far away. Fada couldn't reach him in time.
But because of that, it means Liquid will be able to play this a little bit. They're going to fight.
Yep, Kuro flipped it up. They're trying to fight on the tower. In comes Hirax. The Death Ward's going to go to work. At the same time, that Venomancer ulti, the Nova is all over him. But the tick damage isn't really enough. They have to try and do a little bit more work. But only imprisonment from Fada makes it so Ice cannot find himself a target. The Doom may have already gone down, but Spectral Hornet came back off cooldown, allowing Matoma to come into this fight. He's chasing up after that Bat Rider, but the OD drops the ulti. Not enough damage to find the kill just yet. They don't hit Matoma, and the dispersion damage is spilling out. The Faith, 2 HP. There it is. The spill does work. Innocence only barely alive on 18 HP, but Shadow. Oh, if you dive underneath that tier 1 tower, Wings will still punish you.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. The Wings, yes, they were a 3-man crew at bottom lane. It all started with that Bounty Hunter pickoff, right? Liquid got that kill, then the 2 cores of Liquid rotate into the dire jungle. They see the Alchemist, they chase him back to the tier 2, and they go, guys, there's only 3 heroes bottom now. Let's go ahead and fight that. And it looks like a pretty good engagement, but the problem is it's still a Venomancer, and he's one of the best team fighting heroes you could TP into. Super dangerous situation, and does result in the Spectre dying nonetheless.
This money is rolling in. That is a fully completed Radiance now on the Alchemist, who has an armlet. This is 15 minutes in and he has 9.1k net worth.
You're not really going to be able to contest that, especially since the Venomancer is going to be the primary fighting core. They don't really need other heroes. This is the one benefit of running the Venomancer as your safe laner. He's always just going to be such a nuisance for the rest of the team. And if you look at Wings' lineup, they can largely fight 4v5, especially on the track. Once they start to get the track kills, it'll be worth it, even engagements.
Most of the time you don't actually talk about Alchemist giving away Ags because you don't usually have a hero that's more important than Alchemist getting more farm. But is this the one game you think about giving up an early Ags just to give it to Shadow and have that really early Ags bail? Or do you think Alchemist works on his own farm?
Hey, it just depends on the direction that he wants to go with the next item, and if the Alchemist wants to kind of transition. I feel like if you're going to go for the Armlet into the Radiance build, it's unlikely that you'll immediately go for the Agonist for the Venomancer or anything like that.
Right.
So there's probably going to be some delay there, which means the Venomancer might opt to eventually
Here
wait
they
for
come.
it.
They find Ice. Kuro, there's that Infernal Blade again. The Shard trying to create space, but Matoma with the Spectral Dagger just goes over at the Flame Break, finds space for a Snowball. It looks like he's bearing in on Kuro. Nope, he's over towards Matumbaman. And that's going to be a very quick and easy pick off, but that was the big smoke move from Liquid.
They're going to make sure that the Spectre gets the last hit on this. He hasn't had the most successful game as he's barely above Kuro.
There's a Spectral Horn. Alchemist got the Son of Varble, trying to keep the OD out. There's fight from Matumban right on the back of that Alchemist. He can't finish the job. In fact, Fada, he's just keeping out. There's too much dot effect on him. With the help for the Death Ward, they're going to find that kill onto the Venomancer. But can they get out scot-free? Jirac on the run, but now Dark Painful has to him in with the back wall. Hitting on 2. Jirac still has more life, but is it enough to survive? No, it's not. But it buys time for the rest of Liquid to re-engage back in. And with the Doom on Faith, he ain't providing anything else.
Things are still looking to re-engage, though. They have Ice back up. He's looking for the long-range shards, but it looks like Liquid shouldn't be able to make a clean escape here. The heal over time from that Voodoo Restoration is really offsetting a lot of the Venomancer's damage, particularly on some of these tanky heroes like this Spectre with the drums. Some basic stats that are allowing him to just keep on trucking after he's hit by that ultimate.
Not really sure what direction they're going to go next, as the Doom is going to pick up the pipe shortly after, and this is going to help quite a lot against the Venomancer's ultimate. They've got a lot of these side items as well with the mech completed, so Liquid definitely want to get into these team fights, which I think is the right idea against heroes like Bounty Hunter. If you're struggling against the Bounty Hunter's roaming potential, especially with the Bat Rider in the game and a Tusk, that's a lot of pick-off potential, so just get a lot of different items that'll make you hard to kill. And this Bounty Hunter, I mean, we've talked about it before, but 18 minutes into the game, not even level 6, this is well past the time period where you usually get it from.
And he's just underneath the Sentry Ward too. Jirax, Death Ward's off cooldown in a moment. They've got the dust available. Innocence, he should definitely die here. Now they'll commit the Death Ward. Innocence will go down. More money into their bank accounts. With Death Ward down, Wings maybe they feel they can go. And the Alchemist, he's going to stun himself. He can't get into the fight in time. The snowball forward again is still focusing over on Matolman with the back. He just drops that into last two out. The only ulti hits so hard. Matolman defensively in prison. Wings can't finish off the target. Alchemist, he needs to run himself away here. Matolman's still low, but he's moving down. Ice reveals itself in the tree. And Wings, they thought they had an opening, but it got shut down as the hammer got slammed by
He
Liquid.
might just heal and go for it again. Does have the ultimate available. The Alchemist, maybe a little bit too tanky for that.
I think it's just a bit too risky at this point. I think Liquid,
Oh, he does go for it. There's the Spectral Horn. In fact, he actually realities down to bottom lane. So, okay, no, doesn't see the opportunity for it. But he does burn the Spectral Horn.
They thought that maybe Vada would be able to get close enough to imprison up the Venomancer, but he still manages to complete that TP in time. But as a whole, Liquid are going to be good with these engagements. Yes, the Alchemist does have 4,000 net worth over the OD, but that is natural. This is a hero who doesn't actually get that much out of the items he picks up. It's just the fact that he's able to completely outfarm everybody by a large margin that he becomes a strong carry. So this kind of builds onto what we're talking about for Liquid, which is continuing to try and force fights. But Wings, they're trying to keep them off balance constantly with these smoke incursions into the Radiant jungle. They're trying to go for these pickoffs, get the initiation from the Bat Rider, and turn it into so much more. The problem is they still don't have Blink.
Yeah, right now, I think the big issue for them going into this game is whether or not the rest of the heroes can keep pace with the Alchemist.
Faith, here he comes again. Koro turns, starts the Doom with the Infernal Blade. It was Ice to actually initiate in, but do they have more? The Track is coming up. The back tries to pull him out. Ice is one more attack away from death, but they cannot reach him. Instead, Matolman moves over after that Bounty Hunter. Ice is still on 10 HP, walking out of the fight. But Liquid, they just keep coming. Faith will finally drop the first casualty of that engagement, and he was the first one to really start it off.
Another great Venomancer ultimate, but look at that Voodoo Restoration go! No one from Wings felt confident about re-engaging despite all the damage done by the Veno.
Yeah, on top of that, they got the pike completed now on Kuro. He was able to cast it, kept most of his team incredibly healthy, and once they start to get the blink daggers on these cores on Liquid, it's going to become a lot easier for them to take these fights. You notice what's happening right now is Wings is able to kite them, and even without the abilities up, they don't really have any gap closing.
As Wings, it seems best for them to avoid fights. Now that the pipe is up, I think it's just too much for Wings to be able to handle against Liquid. They just need to try and find... I don't know, it's really tough because you're in a situation where you need to be able to create space for the Alchemist for him to continue up his farm so he can get to that big man.
Alchemist, Mind Control wants to go for this. Spectral Horn again off cooldown, and they're already looking for the kills. We'll have ourselves a pause. This is kind of...
unfortunate, but I'm not sure it really matters. If the tier 1 tower was up, maybe we could see something, but it's such a long run for the Alchemist to be able to come back. Jarek's getting a little giggle out of that one. Hope his mouse isn't actually missing. I'm not sure what kind of disappearing act that would be.
The cockroach ran away with a mouse.
Looks like
I mean, there have been more important pieces of equipment lost at a LAN event.
Looks like this.
There we go. We're back in again. And, well, they'll keep the chase going. Concoction Stun's going to be there. The TPs are coming to the tier 2 tower, but this Alchemist, his Chemical Rage now wears off. He's going to burn out before the rest of Wings can arrive. They tried to help out his teammate, but it was just a little bit too slow.
Rescue Rangers not there in time. The Alchemist down for 50 seconds, and they're going to lose a lot of map control here with Liquid pushing into the Dire Tower. They might actually go for the tier 2, but they don't have the greatest pushers in the world, and that's a bit of a problem for Liquid.
There's also a small trade-off, the fact the tier 2 tower on bottom lane now taking the damage as the catapult will reach it. But it does look like both the teams will start just resetting.
Right now, the Venomancer deciding not to go for the Aghanim Scepter, opting to instead go for the Cloak. don't really agree with that decision just because I don't really see anything on Liquid's side that it really deters anything from, because the Doom is pure. Yeah, there's almost nothing that's gonna really help him.
And also delaying up the eggs. Like, if you're not going to get it from the Alchemist, you should start building it on yourself for the Venomancer. The Force Staff I'm still okay with, right?
Yeah.
You need that kind of mobility item, whether it's for yourself or maybe even saving your allies. But you start building other items away from the Aghanim Scepter, and I think that's a mistake for Shadow.
Yeah, even going for something armor-related, Shivas, Ghost Scepter, just to be able to survive a lot of the hits from Liquid, but to instead go for the cloak probably doesn't matter in the overall context of the game, but something interesting to note as the Alchemist just continues to farm all the ancient stacks. Liquid are in a pretty good position to be able to deal with him as the game goes on, just because they have Spec plus OD, a really strong combination in the late game, but Wings, they're gonna have to find their timing soon, because they can't, I don't think they can afford anyways to go for this ultra late game scenario where the Alchemist has to do a 1v5. We talked about how Alchemist gets this infusion of gold that makes him seem incredibly powerful, but in reality doesn't really have the skill set to back up things late game.
Yeah, and look at Liquid. They have great heroes to be able to deal with a single carry, right? They've got the Doom, they've got OD who could just imprison you out of the fight, the OD who could also just right-click you to death with his kind of glass cannon style abilities that allow him to take away all your intelligence. They also have, in general, just some okay disables at being able to kite the Alchemist. So they really needed him to be super far ahead to win this game for them.
BTs are coming in, but Tubman initiated on with that lasso. Support is keeping it for tower, but Tubman won't survive in time. Mind Control, however, will not want to let this go unpunished. Chasing and locking down that Alchemist, well, as locked down as much as you can with just a vac. But the bigger lockdown is the imprisonment. Over on the side, you can say goodbye to your Bat Rider. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade-off. There's still a Bat Rider for a Spectre.
You know, considering how many heroes rotated, it was really important for them to actually get that Bat Rider, but it's also something to note. The Tier 1 tower is still up in the mid lane, and Liquid are holding on to that. That's actually being able to grant them some control, some semblance of control over their jungle. I think what happened...
Oh, that jump. The paralyzing cast, however, they need to keep him in range of the sentry ward. Don't know if they actually got next to reveal. The cast will hit, but they don't see anything. The sentry came down too late. And now Innocence of the Iron Shell! He actually stood next to him far enough. They'll get rid of the observed one while they're here, and they're looking for another target. Could not reach up.
Looked like for a second the Doom was going to go for the Doom, but Kuro, again, doesn't really have the best follow-up, especially with the vacuum wall already expended by Mind Control. What he really needs is Spada to be in position, as he's got a BKB, slowly making his way forward. He's going to go for the Astral, but...
That is not real. That is a fake, and here is a secondary fake.
Done onto Kuro, but nothing will come of it. Wings, again, Liquid don't really have the kind of pushers to take away your tier 2, so Wings should be pretty good when it comes to defending these. It looks like the Axe is now going to be built by the Alchemist. He's got the point booster started.
Oh,
so.
the Thumberman picked up on bottom lane. They're dragging him back towards, again, the BT target. The Alchemist coming in towards the fight. Spectre dropping low, and again, they're successful, but over towards the mid. Ice Ice initiating on with the paralyzing cask as well as back. They don't have another stun of Marble. The Doombringer's too far away. Ice Ice! That imprisonment was still a second too late. Parter tried it, but he couldn't reach him in time.
Yeah, Wings are doing the right thing. They had to get away from using the team fight scenario of the Venomancer because Liquid is just too big and start going for the pickoffs. And obviously they're getting the right hero Spectre time and time again. The fact that the Doom is able to be a part of that kill thanks to the Boots of Travel just makes it the icing on the cake.
Trying to see what the next move for is Liquid. They're trying to get their Spectre more far. I mean, he's still so far away from the Manta. At one point he had 1,800 gold after those 2 consecutive pickoffs. Still just at the Yasha. Of course, we talked about it. All he really needs is one successful team fight and he'll be perfectly fine in the game, but...
I mentioned the point booster is probably an Octarine.
Oh yeah.
That slipped my mind.
It's almost definitely going to be.
Yeah, when you already have the Manta, it's like classic for Alchemist. You get like 5-second downtime in your ultimate or something absurd, so he's going to have that really soon. It's the max split push and all that sort of thing.
Cap, I already have Toby that's going to say some stuff that doesn't make sense.
Hey, I'm just going to point out I was the one that actually helped Cap on that one.
It's true. You know how bad I feel right now?
Real low moment.
He pointed to that, I was like, oh god, kill me now.
You're all good, bro. Hey, just think of it. Puppy would actually have Envy give him an Aghanim Scepter on the Venomancer to make it more powerful. So Puppy would do it. Anyone could justify it. Bottom lane. Innocence. Again, like, I'm wondering how long it's going to take until Liquid pick up a gem for just these situations.
I mean, to be honest, they've already picked off the Bounty Hunter enough times successfully. It's true. The fact that we keep having to say his name.
Speak of the devil.
Because he's dying all the time.
The Gem of True Sight is now purchased. They've had enough.
It's cost Wings so much. Like their laning phase is already bad enough, but now he's just like feeding extra gold to some of these heroes. He just needs to get this under control. Some of his role is going to be scouting out and playing kind of a dangerous, maybe sometimes I'll feed away, but I'll get a lot of information. But you still need to get a grip on that.
Right now, Matama Man continuing to just farm away, and he's being so much more safe than he used to be. Before he would just push out lanes and his team would go 4-man, but time and time again, Wings was taking advantage of that. Whenever they saw Matama Man on the map, they assumed that none of the heroes were behind him, and this time around, Liquid are going to make a move into their jungle.
Or he's too far away for, no, now they see him. Now they see him. The Gem goes to work, instantly into the death wall. Innocence will cancel it with a shuriken toss. But he's most definitely dead. Should be dead. Finish your job. Spectral Hole will come out. They're looking for another target. It's a Doom on Shadow. And then they can move down to the bottom lane. Faith has already expended up his Firefly, but it's a Spectral Dagger on Ice, almost at his Tier 3 tower. Trying to sigil and flow this up. Fada, does he drop the ultimate? Ice is so low, and Fada under the Tier 3 tower. He should pop from the imprisonment damage. And yep, there she goes. Double kill in favor of the OD.
Cool,
and
guys,
3 heroes across the board.
Cool guys just don't look at the explosions, Toby. Fada just gives them the imprisonment, walk away, and once they killed that Venomancer, right, they knew. It was like, okay, that big team fight hero's gone, Liquid can go for objectives from there.
Yeah, they're cleaning up everything else and push.
And then this bottom tower is going to be free for them as Matama Man is going to complete the Manta style pretty shortly after.
Goro? Watch this explosion. Fate actually dragging him up closer towards the rest of the Team Liquid team, but it also dragged him closer towards the Alchemist, but it won't matter if Fada can imprison him up, and now it's the Alchemist over on the run. Kuro's still fine with this. He may be tracked up in the middle of Asprey and Firefly, but Fate doesn't really have much more control. Fada trying to get rid of the illusions. Now they put the Bell of Discord on Shadow. He can't get himself in range, or can he force staff into Nova? Maybe an option for him. The OD has to imprison the Shards Fly forward, so Fada will be going down. Kuro will join him, and Jirax also on the run out of here. He's got the Gem. Remember, this is going to be lost if he dies. Is there any kind of help? The restoration, the one charges. He gets back up the hill, the paralyzing cast. Nothing will come from it, and the Gem will be into the hands of Innocence, and all things have gone horribly wrong in the space of 1 minute.
Horribly wrong doesn't even begin to describe it, Toby. That was so destructive, self-destructive from Liquid, with Kuro being in the wrong position there, and then Liquid actually choosing to try and save Kuro behind enemy lines like that. They just got kited around, and Wings picked them off one by one. Those were all track kills as well. And now they're going to be able to take so much out of that. The Liquid have so much control.
I think the biggest thing is, right now, losing the Gem, especially early against the Bounty Hunter, that's going to be pretty key, is with the Bat Rider carrying it around, I imagine that's the hero that they're going to hand it off to eventually. It's going to give them a lot of map control. The BKB's coming out on the Venomancer. If you look at Liquid's lineup, they rely so heavily on things like the Arcane Orb. So the BKB going to negate a lot of that damage. Liquid, they should start looking for fights soon, as they still have a pretty good timing with their heroes.
Yeah, they want to be able to force these fights before the BKBs are up, because that's going to be the peak, right? I think that's the biggest peak that Wings really get over Liquid, is that the Alchemist is pretty much 6-slotted, and they have BKBs to win team fights.
They have a chance for this. That Observer Ward, which actually, no, it's gone now. They've lost their vision. It looked like they were grouping up for a smoke, but they just, now they don't see exactly where Wings is moving.
Right now, in a weird stalemate, is Liquid, they've got team fighting items, and they've got the personnel to do it, but they just don't want to risk another fight where things could go wrong with the track. The Bounty Hunters died 10 times, and game's still somewhat close.
The weird thing is, neither team, like, they're kind of hovering around the Roshan pit, but both of them are so bad at actually doing it that I think either team's going to have an opening for quite some time. It's going to have to be one of those like smoke up pickoffs, or something big's going to happen for a team to be able to take this Roshan.
It might get easier for Wings with that Assault Cuirass now, actually. Well, is it? No, it's actually a Shiva's Guard. Now completed over on the Alchemist.
They can have more ways to be able to kite Liquid. I think that's all the better for them. That's one of the biggest things. Plus slowing down the attack speed. This is something that we've actually talked about a bit. Swindles was the first one who brought it to our attention.
Fada.
Attack speed slow.
Pulling forward, starts with the imprisonment. That observer ward is up. They know what's coming in. Mind control being slightly disrupted. Can he get the back into a two-man ball? He can with a spectral hot. The chaos is up in Fada. He won't survive this one. He'll go down. The support is rolling over for Wings. They're taken two. Jirax is locked in an icy prison. He'll go down as well. More track kills come in the way of Wings. And the money kept rolling in from everywhere.
When you hear that Fada dies first in a team fight, you know Liquid is done for.
Shadow has managed to lock himself inside the pit just for giggles. He's locked in by his own plague ward.
Well, there's the big dramatic play that happened. Wings win team fight, get 3, take Aegis for themselves, and now say goodbye to your tier 2s, Liquid.
And that fight at bottom, Fada is put in such a weird position because he was instantly bursted down. Didn't want to have to pop the BKB, but he was taking so much spell damage. Oftentimes what you'll see ODs do is they'll wait, they'll pop the imprisonment on themselves, but felt like he didn't have enough time to do that, was taking down so quickly, and then he just got right-clicked to death. They definitely have enough damage for that, and the Doom's going to complete the Shivas, another fighting item, but just the rapid advancement of this Alchemist, he's kind of hitting this weird peak where even though, yes, Alchemists are meant to be inflated in gold, this is so much more than just that. Is at 33 minutes, he's already 6 slotted.
Yeah, you never want to hear the Alchemist is 2 times your top hero's net worth, right? That is...
Okay, it even gets worse than that, as most of the components of the Aghanim Scepter are going to be there too for him, as we already know where that's going to go.
Yeah,
Bye, Shadow.
The Alchemist is like, all right, I got my 6 slots, here's your Ags. This is the peak of all peaks for Wings. They still have good timings on their BKBs. They have every advantage they could possibly hope for. There's not even, there is some, that bottom vision plus the river vision might be enough that Liquid have some idea of what's going on here.
Fada bought out just before this fight's going to begin. He just bought the Moonshard before this fight, and Wings chose not to wait to get the Aghanim Scepter over on the Venomancer before they smoked up.
That is a little bit surprising.
And now the jump, they go for it, it's over on the Doom, but then the only imprisonment makes it difficult. Again, the chaos created by that Spectral Haunt. Will it be enough? At the moment, Shadow still holding back. The Nova is all over Liquid, but they're still fighting on top of their own tier 3 tower practically. Wings can't get any closer. The Doom is keeping him out. The Alchemist is the main man, and Koro, the only one stranded outside of his base. His tankiness will be tested. Again, the only imprisonment. The ward from Tirac is keeping Wings down, holding them in. They roll in with a snowball. Koro's so low. The death was a full duration. The bounty will die, but we're used to that. They'll just keep fighting even harder. The Tumberman, can they go further? There it is, you're back. They're just trying to disrupt that Wings or rampaging in. They haven't even taken the tier 2 tower, and they're reaching the tier 4s. They're inside the Liquid home. They are taking him apart. They actually went straight past him. Bypass surgery into Liquid's heart. Can they rip him out? They just keep going. Matumba's the target. Mind control now. He puts himself in there. There's a red flag in front of a bull, and that bull is the Alchemist.
The Alchemist is the juggernaut. He just runs through every one of Liquid without hesitation. He cannot be stopped if the OD is gone. The big damage dealer. The moment he was dead, again, Liquid are just going to get run over. Wings played that fight so beautifully. The fact that they were able to force the BKBs used by Liquid, and then they kited them. And I watched Fada. He only right-clicked twice during his whole entire BKB duration because Wings just backed up with, and lured Liquid out of the base a little bit, then hit him again, then lured them back out. And the only reason it was close was that bottom lane fight.
He gave the Ags to the Bat Rider. It's not on the Venomancer.
Okay, I guess they kind of just think that the double lasso is going to be more important than anything, but it doesn't really matter too much as Wings have firm control of this game on the cusp of a 3-0 clean sweep victory. As they're going to make their way bottom, and I mean, the Alchemist has proven if he's willing to dive into the tier 4 towers, doesn't even get close to dying, they shouldn't have a lot to fear. As he's going to make his way forward and he's going to run into
Koro, he's melting so quickly. Again, the imprisonment from Fada has to be used defensively, and there's your lasso, dragging Fada back out again, but a three-man wall. Fada still actually has an ultimate available. Koro, Doom is on cooldown for 3 30 more seconds. He won't survive that long. He's ticking down. They've got it. The death one again from G-Rex, but this will do nothing. The snowball forward. Wings, they have punched their ticket, and they are taking Liquid's home. They go inside again. Mind Control's on the run. The concoction. He wants Sparta. Will blink himself back behind the tier 4 towers. Now Wings, maybe you play objective-based gaming as opposed to diving into Liquid's tier 4s.
Good idea by Alchemist to not go for that dive on Butter. I know he wants a kill on that OD, and it would be great, but at the same time, there is a buyback on Matumba Man. If Wings go in too deep, they might be able to punish.
Problem is, Mind Control can't get forward. You just send the illusion of the Alchemist there, and he can't blink in. He'll have to surge himself out. Finally, the illusions were taken out of Sparta. Empress actually just orb attacks them down. But it's an Alchemist on the front line who is an absolute machine. He takes the melee racks, he'll take the range racks, they'll just wait it out.
Liquid, no, they can't afford to buy back on Matumba Man at this point in time. It would set him too far back. They're just trying to wait, give up a lane of racks. The thing is, Wings realizing this are going to go for a little bit more. They're beating on the tier 3 and mid.
That acid spray coverage as well. Mind Control can't find a way in. Faith, he's searching for it. He's got the blink up, and can they? Over the imprisonment. They just push the Alchemist away. Now Concoction. Again, they look at Koro. The BKB lasso. Fire and Mind Control. They are tethered. They are brought together unwillingly. Wings, can they find the end of this right now? The Doom is over on Shadow. So no Metaman's rolled, but it's still on cooldown. He actually has no mana for it. The death one from G-Rex instantly cancelled off. They're going to finish this job. Snowball in. Wings, this whole lineup, it is just snowballing all over Liquid. They're looking for the mid tower. They'll claim it as well. The Rax is now exposed, and Team Liquid, no OD, no Witch Doctor, no buyback. Do they have anything else left?
They have absolutely nothing, Toby. They have no ultimates. Liquid, at this point in time, 2 lanes of racks, and they're only this one game away from being dropped out of the grand finals by Wings.
And Liquid, I don't know how they can do it because Wings, they look unstoppable right now.
That really is the perfect word for it, right? The Alchemist, even without Chemical Rage, was like, yep, I'll continue to run at you. A 25,000 net worth lead now for Wings. I don't know how Liquid could possibly do this, but it's certainly not going to be sitting back on their laurels. They have to do something big. They have to fight.
It's the Veno Ags now. He already gave one over to the Bat Rider. The Alchemist has so much money. He is just gifting items. A refresher orb, Aghanims, Bat Rider as well. The Butterfly onto the Venomancer. We got regular Scrooge McDuck coming out from Wings.
Everybody has been brought an axe. Right now he's going to feed it to his Tusk as well.
Oh my god.
That's like maximum disrespect because that thing isn't even very useful. It's like Oprah over here. So the 3rd axe given of the game so far. I think his entire team has one at this point.
Everybody gets an Aghanim Scepter.
And I want the car to go with it. At this point, Wings, they can buy themselves with the first place prize money, everything they want to. They're looking to the top lane.
Liquid have to hit every single one of their AoE abilities perfectly. I think they have to get the vacuum with like almost 4 or 5 heroes.
Is that even enough?
Into the wall, then the imprisonment. I mean, I'm just crafting. I'm crafting like grand theories, Toby.
Wings needs to stand still for a minute, so Odie can build up enough intelligence that he can fight them off. That is the only way. Right now, they can fight it in 2. Well, here they come. Snowball forward, Mind Control. It's only illusion to be dragged in there with him, but refresh roll. Faithful coming again. Kuro, lasso him up. Mind Control's going down. Fodder is getting a little bit of time on the back lines here, and that death wall from G-Rex is actually doing some lifting. The Odie will drop, but the Alchemist, he drops with him. You may as well buy back and join it. Wait, he doesn't. Yes, he does. He's got the money. He's a bloody Alchemist. Shadow will throw the ulti out too. He just comes up in all the toxin. He'll go down. G-Rex will TP out, but really, there's no more hope. Koro, he's on the run, but the rest of Wings,
you took down the Alchemist once, but you can't take him down again with those ultimates. Buyback on the Alch. He knows he can take this game right here, right now.
Is there even a chance? Koro, he's looking for something, but there's no Doom available. There's no Eclipse. He goes in for the wall stop. He'll go and then Snowball. Turn around. The stun over on Koro. The paralyzing cask is allowing him to move a little bit further forward. And now Alchemist turns in for his own concoction. Kuro's under the acid spray. A double stun over on Fighter and G-Rex. Odie Imprisonment will buy a little bit more space here, but again the lasso. Back up cooldown. G-Rex is gone. Koro, they just keep diving under the tower. towers with the toxins. Kuro just can't run away. Shadow will trigger his BKB. That last attack is not even going to tick him down, but Fada, he can't battle against a Venomancer with the extra help. Shadow is 1v4ing Team Liquid. The back will come out, but mind control, there's no wall to combo with. Shadow is still keeping the rest of Team Liquid locked inside the base. Mind control finally being flipped out and killed. The top racks is gone. The Megas are up. Wings, the commanding position. The trophy is almost in their hands. The Suns keep coming in Liquid. They're making them work for it hard.
Do you believe you can fly, Toby? Wings are doing it. They're finishing off Liquid and style here. They've already got the Mega Creeps. They don't even need to win this fight, but they just take it anyway.
This is it. The snowball forward. Alchemist come back in. Fada's BKB. It'll wear off now. And then the special Honda. They have the chaos. The Tusker might go down. Odie needs some space. They are retreating out. Wings, they may lose a hero. Shadow slow on life. The Alchemist not dead yet. Now the re-engage. You pulled it out and you're putting it back in again. Right on top of Fada. He'll go down. Where's your last big call? Matopman up on the top lane. Concoction's done. Can they find it? But GG! It doesn't matter. Wings will take it. Again, the qualifier dream belongs to them. Everyone might have looked to eHome. They might have looked to Secret. They might have looked to any other team. But Wings, the dream is a reality.
Wings, wings, wings. They take it 3-0 against the Shanghai finalists of Liquid. Look at that team. They are so goddamn excited.
Again, Team Liquid again pimped at the post. It happened in Shanghai. It's happened here. It was 3-1 in Shanghai. It's 3-0 here. Are they the new Cloud9?
I mean, I think that just does a disservice to Wings. They played so well throughout the series. They made so many different